Hey guys, welcome back to The Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're talking about an album from 2012 by the band Cloud Nothings. It's called Attack on Memory. It's a kind of post-breakup album, but it's really interesting because for this album they hired famed producer Steve Albini to do it, and you can really hear his influence. And if you don't know who that is, he's most notable for producing Nirvana's In Utero and one of the Pixies albums, I forget which. But anyway, so he does an amazing job on this record, I think. But the record itself, genre-wise, is kind of like emo slash indie rock slash pop punk slash post-hardcore, if that makes any sense. So it's got a really cool sound. And if you notice, so it's a post-breakup album, and if you notice, the album cover is it's like a fuzzy, out of focus picture of a lighthouse. And so I imagine the character on this album is, kind of lost at sea, metaphorically speaking. So this is the lighthouse that represents the land that he's trying to get back to, metaphorically, because he's at sea and he wants to come back to land, which is sanity and hope and stuff. So I like this album cover. But anyway, so yeah, I've got some clips lined up as always, and I'm excited to talk about them. So let's dive right in. So track one is called No Future, No Past, and it's kind of a depressing title, and I like how it ties into the music. This is the first 10 or 15 seconds of the album, and you already get a sense that it's going to be probably a depressing, sad mess of a experience that this guy's going through. You can hear it in the music. So I really like this beginning. But I do have another clip from this song, which has to do with the lyrics, so let's check it out. Yeah, this poor guy. I mean, I imagine he just broke up with a girl, and he's just feeling completely lost and hopeless. As he says, there's no hope, we're through. And, the name of the song is called No Future, No Past. So, I interpret that as no past, as in he doesn't want to remember the past because it just brings up too many bad memories for him. I imagine he probably loved this girl, so the past is gone for him because his past, as I said, is just filled with memories of this girl. So he's got no past, but he also has no future, because for whatever reason, he's decided that he's just screwed for the rest of his life. There's no hope. So this guy sounds like he was really clingy with this girl. He put her up on this pedestal, I guess, as if I lose this girl, then life is not worth living. So he sounds a little creepy, But maybe it'll get better. But that's track one. Track two is called Wasted Days, and it's a monster of a song. It's 9 minutes, and it's just one of the most crazy, energetic songs I've ever heard. The last half of it is just an insane instrumental. So I have a couple clips from it. So let's check it out. Yeah, so Wasted Days, it's in the title. As this guy says, he considers his relationship, and all that time he spent with this girl to be wasted days. Like, he wasted his time. And it's obvious he didn't learn anything from the experience that he could, use to move forward with his life. And he just feels really down. He says he's getting tired of living until he dies. And he thought he would be more than this. So this guy, as far as he's concerned, his life is over. He's got no more dreams. He's got no more hope. He's not interested in anyone else. As far as he's concerned, he's not going to kill himself, it sounds like. So if he's not going to do that, then he's just going to survive. The next 50 or 60 years of this guy's life is literally just him, waking up, working, eating, sleeping. So, this poor guy, I hope he gets himself sorted out. But that's all I have to say about it, lyrically speaking. I have a second clip, which I just want to play because it's an amazing instrumental portion of the song. It's just total ear candy. So I wanted to clip it for you guys. So let's check it out. Yeah, oh my goodness. This song, the last half of this song gets so good with the instrumental. It's just such ear candy, as I said. But there's nothing really much else to say about it. I just wanted to play it for you guys. So anyway, that's all I have to say about Wasted Days. But track 3 is interesting. It's called Fall In. And, our main character is possibly getting inspired to deal with his life situation a little bit. So let's see how it works out. Yeah, so that's Fall In, which is a very catchy kind of pop punk song. But it seems like our main character here has a little bit of hope going on, possibly. It seems like, it's called Fall In, and it sounds like he's interacting with one or more people who look like they have their life together somewhat. And as he says, he wants to be like them. He wants them to show him what to do. And, at the end of the clip, he also says there's nothing left for him to use, which I guess you could interpret that as maybe being referring to drugs or drinking or something like that. I might be wrong about that, but it kind of made me think of that. So this guy's trying to fall in. He's trying to just fit in with a certain crowd so that, he doesn't have to think about it too much. If you just pick a group of people and you adopt their beliefs, let's say, then the amount of thinking you have to do becomes less and less. So it sounds like that's what this guy is maybe trying to do. Is He's giving up his own self to fall in. But that's all I have to say about this song. It's a cool song. But the next song is really cool as well. Track 4, which is called Stay Useless, which is kind of, you know, from the name of the song, this guy's not feeling good, clearly. So let's check it out.
Can I see what's going wrong with me? I used to have it all, now I'm alone. I never say I'm better off this way. I need something to do, somewhere to go. I need time to stop moving. I need time to stay useless. I need time to stop moving. I need time to stay useless. I need time to stop moving. I need time to stay useless. I need time.
I just love the sound of this song. It's such a great song on the record. Probably one of my favorites. Although I will admit, lyrically speaking, that I wasn't entirely sure if I got it right. So I'm gonna go for it. You know, he mentions he needs something to do. He needs somewhere to go. So I guess he's finally becoming aware that, like, he can't just, as he mentioned earlier, just, you know, survive, like wake up, eat, sleep, wake up, eat, sleep. Like, now he realizes that he can't do that for the next 50 years. He needs something to do. Maybe he has to move away to accomplish whatever it is. So he's getting a little bit of hope, it sounds like. That's how I interpret it anyway. Although, as he says, he feels kind of useless at the moment anyway. So he doesn't want to feel useless anymore. But that's all I have to say about this song. It's a really good song. I like it a lot. But the next track is called Separation. And Separation is an instrumental, but it's a really, really cool song. It's one of my favorites. So I clipped it for you guys. So let's check it out. Again, just another amazing instrumental. Like, this album has a lot of really cool either instrumental songs or like parts of songs where they just go crazy. And Steve Albini just captures it on tape so well. Like, you can definitely hear his influence on the album, I would say, especially if you've heard his other work. You can identify it. But anyway, you know, there's not much else to say about this song other than it's just a lot of fun, a lot of energy, really well produced and recorded. But that's all I have to say about it. So with that said, let's move on to track number 6 called No Sentiment. Our hero, our guy, he's finally, as he says, he's attacking his memory, you know, because before he didn't want to even think about his past, you know, because he thought of it as wasted days, you know, it was really messing with his mind. But But as he says, you know, he wants to forget everything, no nostalgia, no sentiment. So he's willing to, you know, acknowledge that his past happened. You know, he doesn't feel good about it. He doesn't feel great about it, but he's at least willing to, you know, attack it, so to speak, and possibly learn something from it. I would imagine that's what it makes me think of. And right after this clip, you know, he also says, "We're over it now, and we were over it then," which I kind of interpret as this guy was capable the whole time of moving on from this girl, but for some reason, like that inner ability of his to just move on, you know, it was there somewhere within him, but now he's finally like triggered it. I would imagine that's how I interpret these lyrics. You know, I could be wrong, but again, just another really cool song. I like it a lot. So that's all I have to say about track 6. So let's move on to track 7, which is called Our Plans. Yeah, Our Plans is a little confusing in terms of this character's journey. You know, if I'm interpreting the lyrics correctly, because in our previous songs, we've established that our guy has finally, you know, he's thought about his past, he's tackled it on some level. You know, he isn't just pushing it to the side, like he's actively thinking about it and possibly trying to move on. But what it sounds like on this song, it's very strange. It sounds like in the beginning, he's reflecting on the past relationship as being original and essential, in the sense that, like, in his mind, he's still thinking of this girl as like the only one. You know, she's the only one who could have possibly fit the bill for this guy, who could have checked all his boxes. So she was original and essential. But then he also says there's no time for another try, you know, which is kind of sad. You know, it sounds like our guy, not only does he feel like he doesn't want to give it another, he doesn't want to give a new girl a shot, but he also kind of feels like, you know, he doesn't have enough time to do it. So maybe his past relationship lasted many, many years. And so possibly this guy could be, you know, like late 30s, early 40s or something. So he feels like his life is kind of like getting to that point age-wise where he can't invest the time in somebody new, you know, which I can relate to that. You know, the younger you are, the more time you seem to have, you can make mistakes and learn from them. But when you're, you know, starting to date someone and you're like late 30s, early 40s, things feel rushed, and you start to think about all those moments in your past relationships where, like, you compare the new person to the old person, you know, and you start thinking, you know, like, oh, am I just going to settle for this new person? You know, am I just settling because I'm getting older? So this song kind of made me think of all those things, you know. I don't know if that's exactly what it was getting at, but it made me think of these things. And these are things I think about in my own life. So I can appreciate that, you know. So I like this song. But that's all I have to say about it. So let's move on to the last track called Cut You. Wow. Okay, this song came out of nowhere. Like, you know, up until this point, we were probably rooting for this guy. You know, we were hoping he was going to sort his life out and take a chance with someone new. But geez, if I'm interpreting this correctly, you know, first of all, it's called Cut You, which has a kind of violent connotation. But it sounds like this guy, he's thinking about his ex, who, and it seems like his ex left him because he was abusive, you know, because he says, I miss you because I like damage. I need something I can hurt. And earlier he also says, you know, do you want to hurt him? Do you want to kill him? Is he going to work out? So I literally interpret that as this girl was being abused by our main character. And probably, as he says, you know, may have had the thoughts of like wanting to hurt our main guy or wanting to kill our main guy because he was so bad. So our hero is no longer a hero. He's just a villain. Like, this guy is apparently an abusive psychopath, it sounds like. So it's just a really weird ending to this story. Like, you know, you've got the typical breakup album that most breakup albums are about. You know, like, we can identify with this guy. He just broke up with somebody, and we're going through his post-breakup journey. But here we're just like, no, this girl left him for like really good reasons, you know. So anyway, I hope this guy no longer continues his psychopathic ways, I guess is all I can say. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this album. Every song is just produced really well. The musicianship is really, really good. And I like the lyrics. The only thing I will say, though, if I'm being honest, and, you know, this is my review, so I'm going to be honest. The only nitpick I have with this album is I'm not entirely into the singer, per se. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he's kind of good enough. Or at least, I would say that, like, everything else in the album is so amazing that his singing in comparison is, like, not as good, if that makes any sense. But that's just me, you know. I mean, I do love this album, clearly. But I would say that. But anyway, that's all I have to say about Attack on Memory. I really like it, and I hope that you guys like it. But again, you know, feel free to comment down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you also kind of not like the singer? Whatever you have to say. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It would really help out. I like making these, and I have a bunch lined up. So I'm looking forward to it. That's all I have to say. So yeah, Cloud Nothings. Check them out. Have a good one.